It is an honor to be with you all today, a year later from when I was supposed to first be here. It's good to meet you all. My name is Jordan Whitmer. I'm 24 years old and the founder and CEO of the HowToLife Movement. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I myself am a proud member of Generation Z, those born between 1997 and 2012. There's some serious concerns about my generation. This will break your heart. According to the Barna Group, Generation Z is the least Christian generation in American history. 35% of Gen Z young people consider themselves to be atheist, agnostic, or not affiliated with any religion. And only 4% of my generation in the US hold a biblical worldview. We are losing my generation spiritually. Only a very small percentage of my generation claim to have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. My grandfather, veteran evangelist and Christian leader Ron Hutchcraft, put it this way, that Satan only has to capture one generation and then he owns all those that come thereafter. I personally can't think of a bigger problem facing the church today. Friends, my heart and my passion comes down to this. The future of the church is at stake. And if trends continue, the U.S. will continue to become more and more secular and lost. So, what are we going to do? I have a vision for my generation. Imagine this. What if lost young people who know nothing about Jesus could find the hope that only Jesus offers? And what if Christian young people who know nothing about Jesus could find the hope, Christian young people who do know Jesus could live boldly for Christ, mobilizing together from around the world and step up to entirely new levels of impact and leadership for the kingdom. What I'm about to share with you is not simply another innovative youth ministry strategy, but this is a dramatic paradigm shift that God is using powerfully to awaken a generation to the urgency of the gospel and truly see a global youth evangelism and missions movement take place. When I was 16 years old, about 7.5 years ago, I was burdened to reach my lost friends at my high school for Christ. I began to mobilize some of my Christian friends. We got together and we prayed and we planned, and we decided to put on a completely youth-led outreach event in my hometown in Arkansas. And after many months, this event came together, and there was a big catch. Only teenagers, Gen Z young people, were allowed on the stage. We did worship, dramas, shared our testimonies, and we presented the gospel. 750 students attended this event, and 75 made a commitment to Christ that night. This was the beginning of what has become known as the HowToLife Movement, reaching, discipling, and mobilizing Gen Z for Christ. It all started with one event in 2015, and 7 years later, we've now had 125 Gen Z student-led events in 25 states and 6 countries, including England, Germany, France, Mexico, and Canada. What is the secret sauce, you might ask, for HowToLife? It's been right in front of us all along, yet I feel like American Christians have largely missed this for about 50 or more years, and here it is. Our job is to significantly empower young people to take the lead. I believe that Gen Z, the key to reaching Gen Z today is if Gen Z themselves are turned loose for the gospel. Why? Because our friends will listen to this next generation more than any other voice in their lives. HowToLife Movement is a tested and proven model that has made an incredible difference in the lives of thousands of young people around the world. We do this through evangelism, discipleship, and missions. How do we do this? We have 3 vital programs. First off, we mobilize large youth-led evangelism outreach events. Young people are equipped to plan and execute a local student-led evangelism outreach event featuring worship, testimonies, and a clear presentation of the gospel. At almost every event, we see lost young people come to know Jesus. These are all done by Gen Z for Gen Z. And very importantly, young teens and Gen Z leaders see God work powerfully through them through these events. Secondly, HowToLife helps reach and disciple many thousands and thousands of young people through digital media. Gen Z spends so much of their life online. My friends and I have seen literally tens of thousands of young people get saved through TikTok. HowToLife creates and supports Gen Z Christian content on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and through the Gen Z Today podcast. Finally, HowToLife Movement mobilizes and unites Gen Z leaders together with the goal of reaching our generation with the hope of Jesus. We do this through leadership retreats and conferences, bringing together Gen Z leaders and influencers from around the world to develop strategic ways to further reach our generation for Christ. As one friend put it, HowToLife finds and recruits the Navy SEALs of Gen Z Christians and brings them together for the purpose of fulfilling the Great Commission. I want to share one story in particular about a student named Robert. Robert was a teenager who was lost. Robert had a friend who invited him to a How to Life outreach event. And at this event, Robert decided to begin a personal relationship with Christ. He began to grow in his newfound faith. A few years later, he went off to college and got involved in campus ministry. And now today, Robert and his wife are preparing to be full-time campus missionaries and eventually serve Jesus overseas. And it all started with a bunch of high school students putting on an event where Robert was able to hear the gospel. Robert is one of many young people that we've had the privilege of seeing the Lord impact through How to Life. The results of this movement have been incredible. Thousands of lives have been impacted. And honestly, I believe we're just getting started. The interest in How to Life is growing exponentially around the U.S. and around the world. This truly is a global youth evangelism movement for such a time as this. I look forward to talking with each of you more soon. I have so much more to share with you about what God is doing and how you can help accelerate this movement to impact even more Gen Z young people with the hope of Christ. We need innovative, unique, and missional ideas for the sake of the future of America, the future of Gen Z, the future of the church, the future world that your children and grandchildren will live in. God is raising up a generation. There is hope. How to Life is a proven strategy that works. It's the right message, the gospel, delivered through the right messengers. Youth reaching youth, teens reaching teens, Gen Z reaching Gen Z. On behalf of my generation and all the young people of today, thank you for helping us fulfill the Great Commission in our lifetime. Will you help us reach the next generation? Thank you.